properly? Screen is visible?
Yes, yes.
Okay, fine. So this RSA algorithm, as we know that it is asymmetric cryptography algorithm, and asymmetric means you will be having two different keys, public key and private key. And public key, it means it is publicly available, but private key is the thing that you have to kept private. Okay. So an example of asymmetric cryptography, a client, for example, browser sends its public key to server and requests some data. And the server encrypts the data. But before sending the data to the client, server will encrypt the data using the client's public key and sends the encrypted data. Then that client receives the data and decrypts it with its private key. So that will be an example of the scenario that we in general use in asymmetric cryptography. Okay, but let me go to the basic details of regarding implementation of RSA. That the main thing is that how you are going to generate the keys. So just we generate two large prime numbers P and Q. I hope all of you are aware with prime numbers and all those basic concepts. So these primes should be roughly equal length and their product should be much larger than the message we want to encrypt. So I am just going through the steps. Just we will take an example and then you will get more idea that how these steps are going to be followed. Then what you have to do, you have to calculate a value let me tell you in very simple words that two prime numbers P and Q you will be taking. Then you have to calculate n will be simply product of P and Q, so P into Q you will be calculating. Then you have to calculate phi of n, that will be P minus 1 into Q minus 1. So what is P and Q? That those prime numbers. So P minus 1 into Q minus 1 will be phi n. Then for key that we are going to take as private key. Okay, so private key, for generating private key exponent d, so that we value d we have to calculate, and that we can use this equation. D into e is equal to 1 mod phi n. So this equation you have to keep in mind. We will take an example and then we will see that how we are going to use this equation. Then we can create our public key as n comma e and private key as n comma d. So n will be same. N is product of these two prime numbers that we have selected. So n comma e and n comma d. So public key will be n comma e for encryption and private key for decryption. So it will be n comma d. So this is the basic idea of generating about keys. Now if we have generated the keys, then what we have to do, we have to encrypt the message. So for encrypting, actually C means ciphertext. Ciphertext means coded text, encrypted text. So that you can do with the help of this equation, m raised to the power e, then mod of n. Mod means modulus you have to calculate. So remainder you have to calculate. So m is your message, e, that is e you have calculated as the, let me tell you, that n comma e is the public key. Okay, so that value e we will be using here, and then mod n is P into Q, so that we have calculated in first step. So you will be using this equation to encrypt or finding the ciphertext of your plain message or plain text. Then for decryption, because at the receiver side it has to be decrypted, so for decryption we will be using this formula, that is m means plain text that we have to calculate. So c raised to the power d is the decryption key, so and mod n. So this will be the equation that we will be using. So I can understand that it will be little bit confusing for you at this point of time. So what I am going to do, that I am going to take an example, complete question, and we will be actually doing all these steps of implementation of RSA algorithm for this question, and then you will get a complete idea that how we are going to follow these steps to encrypt and decrypt the complete message. Okay, so that complete question is, in an RSA system, two prime numbers are chosen as P is 7, Q is 11. In most of the time, they will give you these values, prime numbers like P and Q. Then what you have to do, compute n and phi n. As I told you that if you will go through the steps, n will be, can someone tell me that what will be the formula to calculate n? That's so simple. कोई बोल सकता है, बता सकता है? बताओ n कैसे कैलकुलेट करेंगे? Simply p into q. Okay. So what you can do, if you have a pen and paper, just simply calculate this. N will be what? P into q. P into q means 7 into 11. So just we are going to, because I will be using paint, but if you have a pen and paper, then you can use it for calculating n. So n will be p into q. Okay, p into q. So p into q, 11 into 7. So what we are going to do, 11 into 7, it is so simple, 77. Okay, and then what we have to do, we have to compute phi n. Phi n means p minus 1 into q minus 1. Okay, so p minus 1 and q minus 1, phi n we have to calculate. Okay, so for phi n what we will do, p minus 1, so these values first you have to calculate. So p minus 1 means actually p is 7 and q is 11. So we can write like 7 minus 1, 6, 11 minus 1, 10. So it will be 60. Okay. So I hope there is no confusion up to this point, that we have to calculate n and phi n. So that was in the first step for generating keys. Now we can use, if the public key exponent e is 7. So e you are already having here. So in some question they will give you the value of e, in some questions they will give you the value of d. So if value of e has been given, then you have to find the d first. Okay. So what we are going to do, so let me go step by step. So here I have answer also. So p is 7, q is 11. It has been given in the question. E is 7. So why we are telling that e is 7? Because they have clearly mentioned. Okay, and then m is 5. Why m is 5? Because in third part of this question you will see that encrypt the message m is equal to 5. So it means actual message, plain message, text is 5. 5 you want to send as a message, but you have to encrypt and decrypt it. So I hope you are getting this. M means main message that you want to send. So M is 5. So I hope there is no confusion regarding these values. P is 7, Q is 11, two prime numbers. They have already given. Okay, E is 7, M is 5. Then you have to calculate N. N means P into Q. So that is 77. Phi N is P minus 1 into Q minus 1. 6 into 10, 60. That's so simple calculation. So next what we have to do, if the public key exponent E is 7, find the private key exponent D. So E has been given, but you have to calculate D. So what we are going to do, that we will be using this equation. E into D is equal to 1 mod phi n. So this equation we have to calculate. Okay, we have to use to calculate value of D. So just let me do this thing, that E into D, and we want to calculate D. So what we can do, that simply, just let me go to paint and then I will tell you. E into D is what? 1 mod n. Okay, so this is our equation that we are going to use to find D, because E, value of E has been already given. Okay, so that we will be calculating like that. So 1 mod n we can write like this. 1 mod n. Okay. So for that, what we will do, that we will try to solve it with the help of 7d is 1 plus 60k. So this equation we can change as e into d is 1 plus mod phi n. Sorry, mod of phi n we have to take here. Okay, so let me go to paint again. Sorry. So 1 mod of phi n. Okay. Mod of phi n. Okay. This should. So this is the equation that we have to use to get the value of d. So let me tell you what do we mean by 1 mod of phi n. It means you have to take the modulus, if you will, it should be 1 for phi n. So we can write this as e into d is 1 plus, we will add some numerical integer with this, k into phi n. Okay, because if you will convert it to a simple expression, you will get it. So e into d is 1 plus k into phi n. And what you have to find? D. So mathematically it's better, you can try from this equation also, but better we will write it like this: 1 plus k into phi n. This is the expression, and we will just transfer this as e. So I hope now you have the complete equation to calculate d, because we have to calculate d, so we will send e to the right hand side. Now the question is that 1 is the value we have, phi n we have calculated, that is 60. E has been given in the question, because in the question you can see E is, let me check from our, E is 7. Okay, so E is 7. So what I am going to do, E is 7. So E is 7, but for k what we have to use? So you have to try first with 0, k is equal to 0, then k is equal to 1, then k is equal to 2, like that you will be trying. Okay, so what we will do that, let me go to, let me extend this thing. So for k is equal to 0, it means 1 plus k, and phi n is 60, so k into 60 upon e is 7. Okay, so if we will put the value of k is equal to 0, it means 0 plus 1 by 7. So what will be for k is equal to 0? Actually, for k is equal to 0, okay, d will be 1 plus 0 into 60, it means 0 plus 1 by 60. So that is not a complete integer value, but d we have to take as a complete integer value. So we will discard this value. I hope you are getting my point. Okay, if you have any confusion you may ask, otherwise. Now next, which value we will take? K is equal to 1. So for this 1 we will calculate d. So you can easily calculate 60 into 160 plus 1 by 7. Okay, so 61 by 7, again I think it will be in decimal. So we need a complete integer value for d, like e is equal to 7. So same type of integer we need. So k is equal to 1, we will also discard, because 7 8 ja 56, and 7 9 is 63, of course. So it will be in decimal. So what we are going to do, k is equal to 2 we will try. Okay. Let me check. Okay, so k they have actually told that for 5 we will be getting. Okay, but we can check one by one, because how we will get that directly 5 we have to use, because you have to start with 0, then 1, then 2. So for this thing 2, so 2, can you calculate for me? 60 into 2, 120 plus 1. So it means D will be 121 by 7. So 7 1 ja and 7 7 ja 49. Again it will be in decimal. So we will discard. So I hope you are getting my point, that we have to try different values of k starting with 0. So 0, 1, 2, like that, until and unless we are getting a complete integer value for D. Okay. So what I am going to do next, that k is 2 that we have checked, for k is 3 we will be doing. So let me do it quickly. 60 into 3, 180, and if you have pen and paper, 181 by 7. So 7 2 ja 44 plus 181 by 7. So 7 2 ja 14 plus 41. So 7 5 ja 35. Again 6 will be the remainder. So for k is equal to 3, actually D will be 181 by 7, and again that is a decimal number, not a complete integer, so we will discard it. Okay, so for D is equal to 4, we will try. So for D is equal to 4, let me do it. 60 into 4, 240, 240 plus 1, it means 241 by 7. So 241, if you will divide by 7, so 7 3 ja 21, 3 31, 7 4 ja 28, again 3 is the remainder. So again this will be also not integer. K is equal to 4 we are going to do. So D will be 241 by 7. Okay, so please bear with this slow writing, because with board and marker it's easy for me, but okay. So then for k is equal to 5. Okay, so for k is equal to 5, now we will calculate. D is what? 60 into 5, it means 300 plus 1, 301. We will divide it by 7, 7 4 ja 28, 2, then 1, 7 3 ja. So 43 we will be getting. Okay, so 301 by 7, so you will get 43. So you can check that the first value of k is 5, for which we are getting a complete integer value for D. So that we are going to take as D. So D, value of D will be 43. That we can finalize now. Okay, so value of D is 43. So now we have value of D also, P, Q, E and D. All these values we have. Now what we have to calculate now, next, encrypt the message M is equal to 5. So for encrypting, there is an equation that we will use. C is equal to M to raised to the power E mod N. Now we have all these values. M we have, E we have, mod N we have. So we will calculate directly, like 5 to the power 7, then mod 77. So N is 77, that we have already calculated. And M is 5. M, capital M is the message that it has been already given in the question, that main message is 5 raised to the power 7, then mod 77. So it will be, you can calculate, you can use calculator also, there is no problem. So 5 to the power 7, then mod 77, it is 47. So this is your ciphertext, it means encoded text. Now you can use your keys to decrypt it. So what you have to, how you have to decrypt, okay, that m dash you have to calculate again c to the power d mod n. This equation we will be using. So what is c? So c we have calculated this 47, and that you are going to put 47 raised to the power d. So that d we have actually calculated after this calculation. D is 43. Okay, so that value we will be using for D. So 47 raised to the power 43, then mod 77, because n we have already calculated. So this equation you have to actually remember, then only you can do this calculation. You can use calculator, there is no problem in that, but you should know this equation. So 43 we will be using, and then if we are getting the same value like m is equal to 5, so you can check that this is the same number that has been given in the question, that this is the actual message. So decrypt the ciphertext to verify your results. So that was the fourth part of our question. Okay. So this was the basic idea of RSA algorithm, and with example how you can actually replicate all the steps, use all the steps of RSA. So I hope you got the basic idea of RSA and how you can actually solve a numerical, because in most of the tests and exams, the main thing is that you can tell about RSA, that is also required, but sometimes they ask a complete numerical question, so that also you should learn to solve. So I will be sharing this complete PPT. You can first try all those things with the same question. Then I have added one more question where P is 11, Q is 30. So you can, and E is 7. So you can try for this example. So all these steps, so you can try that question. But this question stepwise is also there in your PPT. So I will be sharing this PPT to all of you. Okay. So just let me know if you have any query related to this numerical and RSA, so that you may ask. And of course, it is very much important. That's why I have conducted this special session.